Hi everyone, Melissa here with Create Your Future, and today Amanda's joining me. Hi Amanda.
Hey Melissa, how are you?
Good. We have an awesome video for everyone. We're going to be talking all about signs, synchronicities, births before land. And if that is something you've been wondering about or thinking about, this video is for you. And also, before we get into it, don't forget, we are still giving away the free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. And you can find the link for that in the description of this video.
Awesome. And you have some cool affirmation tracks, don't you? Like money?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I have affirmation core and a course for money, to manifest money. I have affirmations for health and fitness and weight loss, and some more affirmations on how to get communication, attention, and affection from anyone. And I have an amazing self-concept course. So check out any of those.
And I've seen lots of success stories of your clients actually manifesting money from doing your affirmation track. And you are definitely the queen of manifesting good health for yourself. So she makes those from experience. And I can say that they're definitely good, right? Yeah. You want to win the lottery? Like, I can't tell you how many times Melissa calls me and be like, oh my God, I won money on scratchers. I'm like, I've never won anything more than $1 on a scratch and win, and then the bingo and the crosswords, maybe $5, like my money back, right? I mean, talk about terrible story about winning the lottery, but Melissa does not have that. She's got a great story about it. So definitely check out her affirmation track. So
yeah, every course I've created, every affirmation bundle I've created, it's all based on my personal trial and error, stuff that's worked for me, stuff that's helped my clients, so, and my friends and family too. So check it out. I know they all are super helpful for whatever you're trying to manifest.
And, you know, I think it's so funny. I think we all sort of do that. Like, I mean, me, myself, right? Like I gravitate towards, you know, recreating relationships. Everyone, as you pushed out, mental diet sort of content and courses. And like my, you know, journals are, you know, very much focused on, you know, mental diet, that sort of thing. I think all of the coaches here at Create Your Future have all their different strengths, and they gravitate towards what they, you know, resonate the most with. And it's funny how we're all just a little bit different, but we all teach the same thing. And we've all got our strengths, right? Like me, I am the queen of recreating people, like, you know, or like, you know, intending that people are going to do things that are going to totally get done. And I am so good at it. Says, you know, and mental diet, like I am the queen of that, right? Like, I mean, you know, I would say that, you know, in my little circle at home, I've taught, you know, Andrew and, you know, my family about law of assumption. And my two main things are mental diet and everyone as you pushed out. I don't think I've mentioned self-concept to them once because, you know, in me, I look at self-concept as a very much different thing than, you know, what some other people look at it. But that's, you know, not to say that that's wrong. I mean, self-concept is very important. You know, I just come from a platform that everyone's self-concept is perfect, right? You know, but you still, like, I had to work on my self-concept as a coach, right? But I mean, I'm not as strong and heavy as everyone as you pushed out. You know, I believe that if you say, look at, you know what, Andrew thinks I'm the best wife in the world, boom, that just like right there solidified my self-concept as a wife, that I am the best in the world, right? And he always tells me that I'm a great wife. And you know what? He's going to bring me home flowers today. Getting totally off topic.
It's so funny that you just said that, Amanda. Quite a synchronicity, if you will, because I just was talking to a client earlier today who is manifesting her SP to bring her flowers. So it's in my awareness.
Well, this is exactly it. So like the title of this video, what do signs mean? And, you know, I think I'm going to give you the answer right now. They don't mean anything. Nothing in this reality means anything unless you give it a meaning, right?
Right. So if you are someone who's constantly looking for signs that your manifestation is coming, and is this birds before land? I think that was a phrase coined by Abraham Hicks. You know, like basically, if you're on a boat and you see birds, then you know land is close. If you're out in the world and you see signs, you know your manifestation is coming. You know, synchronicity is same thing. If you are hanging on to that stuff, looking for validation and reassurance that your manifestation is coming, guess what? Those signs, they don't mean anything until you assign them a meaning. So if you're seeing signs mean that your manifestation is coming, then you're right. If you're making it mean that I haven't seen any signs, so my manifestation is not near, you're also right.
Or questioning if your signs mean your manifestation is coming. See, if you're questioning and looking for signs, and your manifestation probably isn't going to come, because where you need to be is in the headspace of, I am the God of my reality, or, my thoughts create, I get everything I want. Everyone is me pushed out, and this is what's happening. And this is what's happening now. Just like Neville says, right? You can't change how you see somebody and how they show up to you until you change how you assume that they show up, how you think about them. So you can't question whether or not, I can't question whether or not Andrew loves me and thinks I'm a good wife and wait to look for signs for this. I have to shift into, I am a great wife and Andrew loves me and he tells me I'm a great wife every single day, because that's what I'm creating. That's what my reality is, whether I see it or not. Once I shift into that, going, that's my reality, that's when it shows up. Right. So how I look at it, instead of birds before land, I look at it as partial manifestations. And this actually, and you take this and use it if you want, and don't if it doesn't work for you. But it works for me, because I look at it and I go, okay, look at, you know what? I'm intending, okay, that, Andrew, tells me he loves me and buys me flowers. Okay. So he comes over, or he comes home and tells me he loves me, but he doesn't buy me flowers. That's a partial manifestation. My next question is, why didn't he buy me flowers? Well, you know what? Probably because I know he's driven 2 hours home from work. He's tired. He didn't want to stop off at the gas station. Okay. No, I intend he goes out of his way to stop off at the gas station, regardless how long his day was, and picks me up those flowers. So I look at, okay, what I get in my reality and what I don't get in my reality. I look at what I don't get and I go, okay, I'm going to change my story in that little section. And this helps me to manifest uber quickly. Like anyone that's ever met me, they're like, Amanda, you are so quick at manifesting. Yeah, because I put no emotion to anything. Everything is empty and meaningless. I don't give anything a bad meaning. And I look at what doesn't show up in a very analytical way and going, okay, what were my thoughts here? And I'm brutally honest with myself. I'm brutally honest. Like if I'm in victim mode, I'm like, Amanda, you're in victim mode. You need to get out, because it doesn't matter if I'm there or not there. The only person I'm hurting is myself.
Right. Because you're not getting what you want. And that's exactly it. It's like you want to try to be at all times an indifferent observer of your circumstances, because that's how you can look at them without the emotion and the getting triggered and the create, intense reactions to it. And you can say, oh, this isn't what I want. This is what's true instead. This is what I'm assuming is true for me instead. This is what I'm assuming is true about this person. This is what I'm going to make this mean. This is the story I'm going to give it, and then make it all work in your favor. And that's why it does happen so quick for you, because you're not putting so much negative meaning to any stories. You're not putting so much emotional attachment to things you don't like. You're indifferent. You observe it. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, you change your story about it.
Well, exactly. And in the moments, right, to really watch. I was actually in like a store with Andrew the other day. I love using Andrew as the example. And I use him as the example right when he's sitting in the same room when I make these videos. But we were in the store and I was actually having a great time. And he was in one aisle, I was in the other. And I was like, I think I found what you wanted. It's over here. And then he was like, okay. I'm like, are you going the right way? I'm like, I'm in this aisle. And I'm like saying this because it's actually a joke, because he can't see where I am. And me saying I'm in this aisle is not helpful, whatever, because he can't see me, right? But and I'm just teasing along, right? So anyways, he actually snapped at me and he was like, I can't walk any faster, stop rushing me. And I was like, oh my goodness, right? And like in that moment, okay, I had like a choice, right? And I could have, and I didn't, but I could have been like, okay, you know what? He's frustrated. He can't find what he wants. He's not interested in my playfulness right now. Okay, let's leave him alone and let's not, push this. But no, I woke up and chose violence. So I was... I got upset and I had a meltdown in the middle of the store. Okay, how dare you? I'm having a good day. Oh, well, I'm not going to want to hang out with you if you act like this, blah, 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 right? And then it turns out, the funny thing is, right, at the end of it, he says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I was looking for something I couldn't, you know what I mean? And like, so we always have that choice every moment of the day, right? Like, do we choose, what do we choose to make the person's behavior mean? What do we choose to make that sign mean? Right. Yes, please. If you get a sign or synchronicity, say, guess what? This means it's going to happen. Anytime I manifest something where I'm really proud of myself, well, anything, and I notice it, I always say, wow, if I can manifest that, I can manifest anything. And I said that, and I do that so often that when Andrew notices my manifestations or I tell him about it, he says to me, you know what? If you can manifest that, you can manifest anything. I'm like, darn right, So, use like anything in your reality to make it mean that you're going to get what you want. Right. don't do what I did and wake up and choose violence. Of course, everything like turned out like not like technical violence, but you know what I mean, right? Like I chose to like pick a fight, right? But I mean, I smoothed it over, figured it out. I mean, we're happy together. You know, he's actually been apologizing like crazy since then, right? Because I manifested it. Poor guy, wasn't even his fault. But but you know,
I mean, you can make. I think we've talked about this in other videos too. You can make everything be part of the bridge of incidents leading you to your manifestation. If you will let it be, you know, every circumstance, everything that happens can always be leading to getting you anything you want if you will let it. And where we slip up sometimes is we look at something, we give it a negative meaning, or we make it mean something we don't want. We react to it in that way, and we perpetuate that story, and we make decisions then moving forward in that perspective, right? So yeah, everything can be part of the bridge of incidents. And if you see something and you decide that's a sign, you can just use it to reinforce your belief that your manifestation is here now, it's true now, it's coming, it's possible for you, right?
Exactly. And you know what? Signs, birds before land, and bridge of incidences are only seen after you already get to where you are. Okay. In the moment, you have to make it the bridge. Okay. So let's say, for instance, in my example, and like having a meltdown in the store because I got attitude. If my goal was to have a good day and to enjoy myself that day, then my moment of where I created my bridge was, you know, in that moment where I'm having the meltdown, right? And then later on, after, you know, I didn't choose to just let it go and to like shrug it off. I chose to have a meltdown over it. And then my next choice was, okay, smoothing it over and getting back to where I was. So the bridge can be anything. I happened to take the bridge where I had the meltdown and then had, you know, the talk it out, have the apology and make up. Instead, I could have also chose that, you know what, at that moment, I just shrugged it off, gave it a different meaning, didn't take it personally, and moved on. Okay. So if I wanted to have a good day, I should have taken the shrug it off, and then I would have looked back and been like, oh, that was just a bridge, you know, because anything can be a bridge to get to where you want. I mean, eventually I did have a good day because we made up like less than like 10 minutes later. I mean, so I still did have a good day. So, you know, I could call that a bridge. You can call anything a bridge.
And that's why blanket affirmations like everything always works in my favor are so awesome, because that's literally saying everything always works in my favor. It's everything's leading me to my manifestations, period. You know, I always get what I want. It always happens fast. I'm really good at it. It's super easy, and everything always works in my favor. And that's where, to your point before, Neville would always say, signs follow, they do not precede, because you see the proof of your assumption in your circumstances, right? Yeah. That's following. It goes here first, pushes out here. It follows your thoughts.
Exactly. So if you're looking for it to prove what you want is happening, you're behind it, and you need to be ahead of it. You need to go, okay, you know what? If I'm seeing a sign of Andrew, like, you know, or so-and-so or whatever happening, because that's what's going to happen, because that's my assumption. That's where I'm at. If you're questioning whether you're there, you're not there. If you're questioning whether it's showing up in your reality, you're not there. Right? You need to be like solid in your mind with, yes, this is what's happening. This is what's happening now. You got to build your belief in this, right? Like, I mean, I can create anything, the most obscure things, the weirdest things, because I have zero doubt that this works. I have zero doubt that my thoughts create. And you know what? I have fun with it. And it's like, let's see what wacky stuff we can create. You know what I mean? Like, I've created someone telling me one thing and then saying the exact opposite thing to another person right in front of me. Like, I mean, I've created, and it's like, and is that weird? Yeah, it's weird. But it's like, no, you know what? I mean, I'm not surprised. I totally intended that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it just, if you don't have that belief, then do that little list of manifestations to build your belief, right? Color, people wearing color shirt, people buying you coffee.
Or even just like a really simple way to notice that this is all real is when you think about, oh, I want a Starbucks. Okay. You know, you've got coffee on the brain, you've got Starbucks on the brain. And then after you get that coffee, you probably see 20 different Starbucks on your way to your next errand. Why? Because it's in your awareness now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Totally. You know what? That would drive me nuts. I smoked cigarettes when I was younger. Okay. And every time I quit smoking, I would see everybody smoking because all I could think about was cigarettes. Right. And everybody would be smoking all of a sudden. And the funny thing is like when I was like get totally nicking out when I did smoke and I didn't have cigarettes or money for cigarettes. And I would be looking for people to like buy a cigarette off of for a quarter or whatever. But I would be so focused on not having cigarettes that all of a sudden nobody smoked anywhere around me. Like, it was the weirdest thing. And then now that I'm older and I understand this, like I totally get it. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I don't even vape or anything. But I mean, it's just our mindsets, right? Like what we choose to focus on is what's going to show up in our reality. And that's why Neville says, always focus on things that are good, that you want, that are happy, that are positive, that are healthy. Always focus on that, because whatever we focus on has to show up either in our reality or like somebody else around us where we're going to see it. We have to see a reflection of every single one of our thoughts. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to scare everybody, but yes, all of your thoughts create. So watch your thoughts. I mean, that's the biggest thing here is you watch your thoughts. They're a powerful tool for you, but they can also be, something that brings you down quite quickly if you're not watching it, right? So it's powerful. It's your magic wand. Every single thought that you have puts an energy out into the universe. And it's your quantum bubble, and you are going to mold it with your thoughts. Right. So, take some time and enjoy your thoughts and focus on what you want, rather than.
Yeah. And to that point, are you going to continue to focus on seeking out signs, on searching for signs, on looking for signs? Because the more you focus on that, the more you're going to see that the more you're going to see the search for signs, right? So the more you're going to feel like you need to look for signs, the more you're going to be labeling everything as a sign. But then where's your manifestation? Because all you're doing is focusing on looking for signs, not that your manifestation is possible and true for you now. So it's really just pay attention to where's my focus and what am I making everything mean? What am I deciding is true about my desire and my manifestation right now?
And this is it. And the funny thing, our mind plays tricks on us, right? If we decide something is true, everything we see will be evidence of that. We'll make it mean evidence. But if we decide that, Jerry, he's over there. Jerry is like, deceiving me. Okay. And just like, an all around terrible person. Everything he does, I will make it mean that. Right. Yep. Our brains do that. It's like, oh, okay, this is what your end goal is. And this is what his behavior is. Your brain's automatically going to be like, yes, I need to mold that into that and make it look like that. Have you ever had somebody who absolutely hates somebody and they're like basically telling you all these like crazy things they're doing and how, they're like, oh, can you believe it? Can you believe they did this? Can you believe they did that? And you're looking at them going, well, none of that really seems to add up to that to me. For me, it seems like that could be anything. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't necessarily, that comment doesn't necessarily mean they don't like you. That comment doesn't necessarily mean they want to steal your boyfriend, and you're hearing everything they're saying, but you don't have the same colored glasses on about that person. Exactly. You're not seeing where they're see, our brains will do that, right? So, make your declaration, your beliefs about your assumptions about what you want and about people and the way that you want them, and solidify those beliefs, and all your other thoughts will follow. Right. Yeah.
Like what lens am I looking at this through right now? A good example is even thinking that you can be ghosted. One person, two people are talking to an SP. Okay. Not the same SP, their own SP. One person's talking to them and their SP stops responding. That person immediately freaks out, thinks, oh my gosh, I'm being ghosted. They don't want to talk to me. I'm rejected. This is horrible. The other person is talking to their SP stops texting or responding back, and they're like, oh, they just got busy, their phone died, they're whatever, I'll hear from them as soon as they can, because they love talking to me and I'm their favorite person to talk to and I always hear from them every day. Guess what? They're each gonna get that experience in their reality because that's what they made it mean. That's the lens they were looking at it through.
Exactly. And me, no one ever ignores me. I've never been ignored in my whole entire life. And I refuse to be, because, if you don't want to be ignored by anyone, never accuse their behavior of ignoring you. If you never want to be disrespected by anybody, don't accuse their behavior as disrespectful to you. You create how people treat you through the meaning you give their actions, right? So remember, everything is empty and meaningless. And if you do give it a meaning, give it a good meaning. Give it a really good meaning, give it a meaning that it's getting you towards what you actually want. I think we covered so much on this.
Oh my gosh, so much.
Look at it, it's like pen drop. I hope I have my little Roomba mopping the floor. I hope nobody can
I can't
hear it.
hear it.
No, oh, good. Okay. Because he's quieter than the other one. The other one sounds like a lawnmower, but like, yeah, it was a floor cleaning day here in my house. I don't know. It is what it is, but I'm like, I'm doing this video whether there's noise or not, right? Which I don't know. I intend we always have great quality sounding videos because we definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. We love it watching the videos. Remember, each and every one of you are perfect, whole, and complete. Okay. You're everything that you need to be right now to get what you want. So just start focusing on it.
Yeah. Focus on your end goal. Focus on that what you want is true now. Always assume the best about everyone and everything because then you'll get the best in your experience. And signs, they mean whatever you decide they mean. So stop looking for signs and just start assuming that your manifestation is true now.
Exactly. And have fun with it. Have fun with it. You know, like wake up every day excited. You get to create this wonderful reality and it's all yours, right? It's all yours, you know? I mean, if you like, I'm addicted to Is It Cake right now. So, I mean, you created Is It Cake. Thank you. I created that. It's the best thing in my, you know, enjoy what you've created, you know, and even if you've created something you don't want and you don't like, just take responsibility for it and change it and don't dwell on it. It's really not that big of a deal. As quickly as you created it, you can actually get rid of it and recreate it. And just don't give it the emotions and all of the, you know, the resistance and, you know, don't give it any more energy than it already has, right? You just go, no, I want this instead, move on because you're powerful. So
you are powerful. And when you are feeling stuck or like you've given away a bit of your power, that's why we are here. We're here. We want to help you create a beautiful life for yourself. You can have anything you want. You can be anything you want. You just have to stop getting your own way. Stop deciding that it's not possible or true for you because everything is possible. You are limitless.
Exactly. So yeah, you guys are all absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for having me on your video today, Melissa.
This is a fun one. I'm glad we talked about this.
I know. You know what, guys, I'm intending that I do a weekly video. Last week I've got one. This week I got one. I'm showing up with Melissa here. So I'm really attempting to show up weekly to do a video because I do really enjoy them and I love helping, and you know, it also keeps me on track too, going, Amanda, you know what? You're a powerful creator.
Yeah, it's a good reminder for all of us, right?
Exactly. So awesome. Well, we'll see you in the next video.
I intend this video helped you. I intend you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.